phone is this?
Oh no, I found it.
Okay. Today we're gonna be serial.
Hey, Jesse McMullen's typing.
Oh my God. Normal entrepreneur Beeman, eBay sell. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Christopher Beeman. I am the. Who is this for?
My teacher. This is for 25% of my mark. This has got to be a quality Baron show now.
Back at it again with the vlog squad.
This guy's crazy. So we're doing a vlog here. We're gonna go into everything like last time.
God, this intro is boring.
Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're gonna be filming a vlog, an interview with the man himself, Christopher Beeman. Introduce yourself. Give like a 2-minute wrap on your background.
I'm that guy from the podcast who played basketball, is currently playing basketball, started an eBay business, made $4,000. I'm currently broke. That's fine. I'm playing Scarborough basketball, rep basketball out of Scarborough, trying to get a college scholarship. It's a little complicated at the moment, but you know, do what you gotta do. And I'm really interested in entrepreneurship, archaeology, history, business, and basketball.
All over the map is basically what this guy is at this moment. Okay, so let's get into some of the questions here. With the eBay business,
Yep.
why was the reason you started it?
Because I thought all the other like really big entrepreneurs who like Jeff Bezos, Grant Cardone, like a bunch of, I can't think of the names right now, but a bunch of big entrepreneurs, I read about them and they all started like a really young age. Like they sold like
Gary Vee.
They had like lemonade stands and they were like born to be entrepreneurs. So I'm like, I'll try it, and if I suck at it, then I know I'm not supposed to do this. And then it actually worked out. I didn't suck at it, so now I have that as like not a backup, but like a safety valve. So like if I go and do basketball and I screw it up, then I can like turn around and be like, okay, now we're gonna go this direction. And just, I don't know, it gave me like an insight into how hard it is to start, own, and run a business.
Also, with the basketball, you leveraged your TikTok, social media,
A little bit.
into that. What were your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the social media space in relationship to like basketball exposure to get seen by colleges, and like with a business running like TikTok, all like the advertising? Like, what are your thoughts on that compared to like traditional media?
I think it's a useful tool if you're really good. Like if I was still up, I'm not uploading content on TikTok anymore as of right now, but that's just because I don't have time to. But I think
Very busy guy, trust me.
if
Very hard to do.
if you can, it takes like a certain person to be like consistent enough with TikTok and social media or YouTube or Instagram or all of those social media platforms. It takes like a certain kind of person.
You have to have a good personality.
You have to have a good personality.
If you're building around yourself.
You have to understand business. You have to understand statistics. You have to understand watch time. You have to understand clickbait titles and all this stuff to be like
to get engagement on
that, and like to actually use social media as a tool to leverage your scouting and all that stuff. It takes a certain kind of person. And like I just wasn't built for that. I don't know. Maybe I am, but I don't have the time for it right now. So I just kind of bailed on that. But I think it sort of helped me understand how YouTube channels and that kind of stuff work as well. But for now, I'm just sticking to the traditional: play really well, get scouts, message them, email them, all that kind of stuff.
So with the social media thing, with right now, with that Dill is streaming, Dylan's one of our friends. Do you think that he should be leveraging other social medias to draw to his Twitch account? I believe is a very good way to bring viewers to it.
I think Dylan is a very inconsistent person, and he'll start something. He's the type of guy he would be really good as like the head of ideas, like a really good brainstorm person, because he has like borderline ADHD and he goes from like thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and he doesn't really stick to one thing for very long. So he would be good as like an absolute brainstorming kind of person and getting really creative and finding new ways to do things. But in terms of like,
But not executing on the idea and following
he needs to
through.
be someone who's handing someone ideas, not executing on the ideas. So I think in terms of personality, streaming for him is going to be really difficult because he would have to have somebody like managing his stream while he goes and plays the game. But I do think
To put into a general context then,
that
as of a
the
person,
average person who wants to become a streamer should 100% use all of the available options to them to become as noticed as possible.
instead of just drawing from one direct platform, becoming from everywhere.
You become one-dimensional, and then if that
fails,
you're screwed.
You got
It's like having a business that's purely based on one source of income. You're subject to, if that fails, you're screwed. So if that one pump that you have of like cash flow cuts off, now you have to get really creative and find a new way to run your business. Opposed to if you have 5, if one of them stops working, and you still have these 4 other ones that hold you up.
That's a very good insight. So next question. I know you're looking forward to this question.
What question?
Do you have any future business ideas if you don't go back to doing the reselling thing? We should go into the reselling thing a little bit quick. Like a quick 30-second sum.
New business ideas, that's kind of been a dead part of my life, if I'm being honest. I haven't really thought about it a lot because basketball, school, and whatever else consumes like 90% of my fucking 90% of my my daily energy goes towards those 2 things. But like if I was to start a new business, I think it would be social media anchored. Like that would be the core of it, because I really liked that aspect of the daily vlog thing I was doing. That was fun, and that would be a really easy way to make money. But otherwise, like outside of that, I think I'm gonna plant trees if things go south and make like a quick 20 grand. And then
what about real estate? I know
real estate, sales. These are all things that I want to get into, but I need to hammer them out like one at a time. I need to hammer them out one at a time. Like I need to focus on basketball right now, and then once that's done, probably sales, get into some kind of sales business, and then outside of that, once I make enough money from that sales, dump that into real estate, and then make my own business and just take the sort of.
But one of the key things you learned through the reselling business was sales. That is one of the key fundamentals.
I got a tip of the iceberg of what it's like to have to sell yourself or sell a product.
Basically, to wrap the business into like a 30-second what it was, basically go on Facebook, buy a PlayStation 2, bargain to get a better deal. Most of the time they're at very good deals. Then go to eBay, which they're more in demand there, so they were selling way quicker, way faster. On Facebook, they'd sit there for
good pictures, make it look good, sell the product, make money,
and take the profit, take the cut in between, and
then take the profit and dump it immediately back into the business and buy something else.
Correct. Or stocks,
which
you have none of anymore.
I'm broke.
Why don't you start selling something or doing something that takes a little bit?
I don't have time anymore. I'm basketball.
Okay. Good point. He's a very busy guy. This is very difficult to do, trust me. Okay, so this is an interesting question. This is off the business kind of. We're going to keep it like an interesting. What is one thing you can pick you're grateful for? One thing in life. What is the most thing? One item. Not item or anything. What's the thing you're most grateful for in this world? You need to pick anything. See, this is where it gets really interesting. He's normally all over this.
My life.
Pick one thing. You can say your life if you want, but that's like kind of.
It's generic.
I know you want something cool. Do you want to just jump back to that and I'll throw you another question? All right, well, we'll make sure we get that one in there. This is one we always do in our class. I like this question. If you could have dinner with anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be? Anyone. I'd do Gary Vee.
The King of Egypt.
And why is that?
Because I recently just started getting into the pyramids and how they were built, and no one knows what's going on. And I think if I could sit down and talk with that guy, either the King of Egypt back then, I don't know his name, King of Egypt, or Thoth, which is like a it was like the guy who like held all the knowledge in Egypt, and he was like one of the head guys in building the pyramids. And I think if I could sit down with them and understand how the pyramids were built and how civilizations were created and how they managed to do that, then I would feel much more at ease about how humans
You want to know
came to
about
be.
the history.
I need to know about the history, about how humans came to be and how they were built. Because as much as normal mainstream science wants you to believe that they know how they were built, they have no idea. Like some of the things, like the chambers above the king's chambers, these 90-ton blocks that were dragged 500 miles across the desert.
Into this as of late.
It's basically impossible that it was built the way they said it was built, and I need to know how it was built. So as of right now, I would have dinner with one of those two.
Okay,
Even though we would probably speak very different languages.
we're gonna jump off to something else now. We're gonna take a complete 180 now.
Okay.
Complete 180. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency, all that kind of way, like Web3, all that? This is like a complete 180. We're keeping you guys on your heels here.
It's
On your toes. That sounds way better.
it's a hard
It's a hard 180 question here.
no, it's a hard space to comment on because it holds realistically it holds no value. Like it holds value, but it only holds value as much as the next guy goes to buy it. In the same way the stock market only holds value
You're talking about crypto right now, not the Web3.
I know, but in the same way the stock market only holds value because the next guy will buy it at a higher price than you're willing to buy it. So if you buy it at 130, you're betting that the next guy will buy it at 150, and the public basically decides how much these stocks are worth. That's the exact same thing. But I like the idea that like Gary Vee talks about like NFTs and stuff like that, because that
As intellectual property.
that seems like a good direction to go with this kind of stuff.
As an example, like if you buy, I don't know if this is what he talks about. It's like if you're gonna buy a ticket, like his book he just released. If you buy is like a certain amount of books, you get an NFT thing, like an NFT with it. Non-fungible token is the term. I don't know how in depth you are with Web3, but you basically get this non-fungible token that is worth whatever much. And as he builds his legacy, his plan is
That goes up in value.
exactly. He's trying to build his. This is how he says he's gonna buy the New York Jets, is from his NFTs and stuff like that. It's like building like the next Disney is what he kind of explained. It was like Mickey Mouse and all those guys.
Basically,
like,
anything in terms of
so he doesn't have
art,
to just be on himself.
I'm a fan of anything that's like that drives society towards a more artistic lifestyle, and that seems like it is. Like you look at like these NFTs called something apes, like crazy
Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Bored Apes.
That's the most
and
popular
like
one.
but like they're worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars,
I think
and
they're
you
somewhere
and
millions.
celebrities like fight over who has the cooler ape. Like Post
because
Malone,
it's flexing.
Post Malone has one of
We're in
like
a
a
society.
monkey smoking a joint, and like Steph Curry, a basketball player, he has one of like they all fight over who has the coolest ape.
Because they're trying to flex. That's a
And
society.
that to me
is
is
what he believes.
awesome. That's dope. That is just a really, like, if society could go that direction and we'd be fighting over who has the cooler artwork, that seems like that's
I
how
never thought about it that way.
that is a much
never
better
thought
way
that way.
to go than who has the nicer cars and nice, like, that's cool, but like who has the more intellectual art and intellectual stuff, that seems like a much more grounded route that society could take, and that would be,
That's an
in my
interesting take. I
mind,
like
a
that.
better
I
way
do like that.
for society to live. Like, NFTs seem like a start to something like that.
I believe it. And that goes into the Web3 thing, which they feed into there, which goes into the metaverse and all that stuff. I know we talked about that the one time. So,
Too deep.
that theory, I don't want you to go on our crazy rant again.
Too deep.
So, if you could take any like professional course to try and like improve yourself in like marketing, sales, or anything, or like take a course online in real estate, like what course, like what would you take if you could improve one thing in like a business
Sales.
aspect?
100% sales. No question, sales. Sales and persuasion is at the center of any good business. And if you can get good at sales, there's a job for you anywhere. And you're pretty much limited. Like if you get good at sales, you can sell almost anything. And if you can sell almost anything, you can make almost anyone money. That it's the end all be all. Like if you can get
That's a very good
if you
point.
can get good at sales, there's a place for you in the world as long as we have money. as long as we have a structure of society that sells things to people.
Demand. People want something, sell it, basically.
You can sell people a story. You can sell people
Tell people
yourself.
a story about you or anything. Actually, you sell yourself.
You
That's
can
good for social media.
Sell anything, and if
That's
you can,
very good point.
and persuasion and sales is at the center of any good business.
That is very good. I like that. Now we're gonna get into this question. I know you were struggling with this earlier. So, what is something you are grateful for? Could be anything.
My unique ability to critically think and question the norm, because like I've noticed, particularly when it comes to having the normal route, going to college, doing this stuff, and just like the way I feel, maybe this is just me being egotistical, but I feel like the way that I think about the average thing is like a complete left turn to like 95% of the people that I've come across in my life. Like when someone sees a problem, I see an opportunity, or when someone would blankly listen to authority, I decide not to, or I'll just go out of my way to question something, and it's gotten me in a lot of trouble, honestly. It's made a lot of people angry. I've failed classes, I've lost jobs, I've had a lot of things happen just because nobody questions things anymore. And like
Do you think that helps in the entrepreneur thing? Like with
I think it's essential.
Think exactly,
because when
out
you
of
have
the box, not the normal
everybody
route.
is going one direction, the guy who goes the other direction is usually the one who makes money.
Who's that? The Warren Buffett. It's be greedy when others are frightful.
Be frightful when others are greedy.
Yeah.
There's another thing. There's a quote. In a room of 500 people, an entrepreneur is the one guy standing the wrong direction. And I think that rings true for a lot of people, because like I read Kevin O'Leary's book on how he felt in school, and he always felt like an outcast or outside of the norm. And his first job, he got fired for not scraping gum off the floor of an ice cream parlor, because it wasn't in his job description. He was supposed to scoop ice cream all day, and then when at the end of his shift, the 7-hour shift, his boss was like, "I need you to scrape that gum off the floor." And the really cute girl that he liked was watching him and waiting for him to finish his shift, and he didn't want to embarrass himself, so he said, "No, I'm not doing that." And she said, "I'll fire you right now." And then he got fired, and after that day, he said, "I will never work a 9-to-5 job or a job ever again in my life."
Hell of a story.
And he didn't. And then he went to college and he pursued a career that his dad did not think he was going to succeed at, which was filmmaking. And he said, "There's no money in it, but go do it if you have to go do it." And he did it. And now he's worth whatever he's worth, $400 million. I don't know.
But he's successful.
He's successful enough. And I feel like that story resonated with me a lot, because I definitely feel like I am.
Do you remember the name of the book?
Kevin O'Leary's book?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's his biography. He wrote it and stuff. So yeah.
You can probably look it up.
You can definitely find it if you would like to.
Well, I guess that's it. You got any last points?
No, I think I'm good, dude.
Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Peace!
Peace out.
When